I saw this meme on a friend's Facebook page and it inspired the following thought experiment. Let's see the meme first and then I'll give you the thought experiment. So here it is. Fox News, the parents are telling them not to join. Military's response, she, her, with this questionable she, her. So, you got it? All right. So here's a thought experiment. If a country can't inspire its own citizens, or at least enough citizens to adequately defend their country by joining the military, does that country deserve to exist anymore? That's my thought experiment. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, this is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. So let me first start by saying I have the utmost respect for the men and women who voluntarily serve this nation in the military. I didn't join, but I have worked alongside the military for a little bit and got to see them firsthand and how they sacrifice for their country, for their families, to protect the Constitution and American citizens. It's very impressive and awe-inspiring. So that's why I don't like it when I see them disrespected this way. And I think it's a detriment to the country. Here's a little bit what I'm talking about here. Hold on. Smooth transition, right? Anyway, so here we go. Here's an article about what we're starting to see now, and it's becoming a major problem. This was from July 1st, so just a couple of days ago. U.S. military veterans tell family members not to enlist. Let me say something. How big that is. A lot of the people that I met who were in the military, active members of the military, it's a tradition in their family. It's not, most of them, it wasn't like just they were the first person to ever join the military. It's usually their father or grandfather or grandmother or or mom who's in the military and inspired them to go. So to break a generational thing like, having military veterans in your family, that's a big deal. Something serious has to be happening for the military members to tell their own kids not to join the military, not to follow in their footsteps. That's a big deal, especially among fathers and with their sons. It shouldn't just be like shrugged off. Anyway, continuing. The nation's recruiting crisis has reportedly deepened as current and former troops discourage their loved ones from joining. The military's recruiting woes have reportedly intensified as current and former troops increasingly advise their family members against enlistment, weakening a tradition of multi-general service that has historically been the nation's primary source of new soldiers. So I've did a little research. About 80% of our troops come from these multi-generational service members. So if the people who served in the military, if their family is telling them don't join the military, that's powerful. And if that's where most of our troops come from, devastating to the country. Veterans have soured on recommending that loved ones follow in their footsteps in the face of a tight labor market and raising concerns over low pay, debilitating injuries, suicides, and indecisive wars. It's another big one. I'm sure that the disastrous pullout of Afghanistan, we had people falling from from jets. You had 13 service members die for no freaking reason. We pulled out without announcing what we were going to do ahead of time. Even to our own allies, England had no freaking idea we were pulling out. We just left people behind and equipment. That's demoralizing to the military. I know they must have hated it, just like they hated it when I was over in Afghanistan working and SEAL Team 6 was taken out. They were pissed. and it was completely unnecessary. Some of them blame Biden because he was talking so effing much about Navy SEAL Team 6 after Osama was taken out that they set a trap for them in Afghanistan. I was there in the country when it happened, and again, they were pissed. So all these things just add up. These indecisive wars like the one in Ukraine right now. Officially, U.S. troops aren't there, but the wink, wink, nod, wink and a nod, there probably are some on the ground. So anyway, the recruiting crisis also comes amid controversy over the Pentagon's prioritization of left-wing issues, such as transgenderism and critical race theory. As you can see, the transgender trend that's been hitting the military. I think everyone has seen that. It's disgusting. The military, they just need to be ready to fight. They shouldn't be used as a social experiment just to see how, just to please any particular group that should, they should have equal access to joining. Look, anyone who wants to join the military, more power to them, but the requirement should be the same across the board. We should not make accommodations for one group over another, or any accommodations that weaken the military, I think is terrible. The other thing that's going on is from the top, the people who run this country, they give the definite impression that they hate half the country.
Far from unifying the country, the president is keen to paint half of America as filled with extremists who want to destroy democracy.
To be a nation of hope and unity and optimism, or a nation of fear, division, and of darkness. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
All right, so here's the president supposed to be representing the entire country. I've never seen a president single out half the country, where, they're pitting one part of the country after the other, and with the military in the background. And who thought up this whole red scheme? You got the flag, you got the military, you got one angry ass politician there, again, showing his disgust with half the country. That's not going to work out well in a long run. It's not going to make people want to send their children to fight and possibly die for the nation. You need to be able to unify the country in order to get us people to defend it. Another thing is, I'm not going to get into it too much because I did a video on it before, but the whole cocaine in the White House thing is also another nail in the coffin for the country, because we all know that we understand the executive branch is the ones, almost like the cops, the highest law enforcement arm in the nation. But no one is surprised that, one, there was cocaine found in the White House. No one is surprised at, who possibly brought it there. And worst of all, no one is expecting anything to happen of it. We now live in a country with at least a two-tiered judicial system, and we just shrugging our shoulders. That's telling me we become demoralized as a nation, which is extremely dangerous. It doesn't matter how how advanced this country is. It doesn't matter we have the best weapons and the best weapon systems on the planet. If the people who are supposed to fight for the country feel no more patriotism towards the country, it doesn't matter how small the enemy is. We won't pick up a stick to defend ourselves. I hope this changes with the next president. We're on a really bad trajectory when we can't get enough people to defend the country. But like I said in the beginning, my thought experiment, do you think this country or any country would deserve to exist if they have to force people to defend it? I don't think so. I think if you can't sell your own country and its importance and why it should exist to its own citizens, then the country doesn't really deserve to exist anymore. Because a country is just really people who have a shared nationality and shared ideology. I'm not talking genetics. I'm not talking race, anything stupid like that. We have to have the shared dream and the shared idea of what law and order should be like. And when we take that apart, when we dismantle that, we dismantle the country as well. That's my opinion. What's yours? Like, share, comment, and subscribe.